Okay, it is my privilege to share with every one of you on the new UFO training. And we have several new people. I mean, some are few months old and some are brand new. And so the UFO is not the one flying in the sky. It's called unfranchised owner. Our platform is like a franchise and have all the advantage of a franchise with the systematic uniformity and I mean everything. But we don't have the disadvantage of a franchise. It costs a lot of money, have the monthly royalty and so on and so forth. So we label ourselves called unfranchised, have the advantage of a franchise and not the disadvantage of a franchise. And so once we started the business, every one of us, we call ourselves a UFO. And so this particular session, it is for the newcomers to get to know about you, your future, and what it has anything to do with shop.com. So let's get started. Okay, so I guess we might have to ask ourselves a question, is that what is our financial status today, and what do we hope that our financial status would be tomorrow or in the future? I guess everybody have to ask this particular question and find out we have to drive the desire to make a difference. And so that's why knowing your current situation and knowing where you want to go, it makes a big difference. Unfortunately, because most people, they have their family financial burdens and they find a job, they have a business, and because you have to generate the income to support your family, and so we become so busy to a point that we even forget about why we are doing it or where we are going. And so by participating in this business and participating in this kind of training, we hope to wake everybody up to think about it. And after all those years you've been working hard and working, I mean, restless, and now is that already achieved to your financial goal or your goal in life? And a lot of time we've been doing it for so long and we got into such like a routine that we don't think anymore. We just do. But if those doing get you to where you want to go, or do you have even a goal that you want to achieve? And so that's why participating in this kind of training, we kind of learn each other and start thinking about, okay, why do we have to ask this particular question? Let's take a look at this particular picture. It is, I don't know if you guys have ever seen of this picture. This picture was originated in, I would say, 1998 by an author called Robert Kiyosaki, and he wrote his first book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, because when he raised up and he has encountered two dads. One is he's educated and a government worker dad, and the other dad is his friend's dad, which is very low education but doing very successful in business. So he was impacted by these two persons, and his impact is kind of against his traditional education from his own dad, always going to school, get a good grade, and when you come out, get a good job, and hopefully you make money, and then it would be haven ever since afterward. And then as he encountered his dad and his friend's dad, and he kind of like anticipating totally different than what he was educated. Why his friend's dad with very low education but get lots of money? It becomes one of the wealthiest people in Hawaii. And while his dad It becomes the Secretary of Education in Hawaii, but it's always paycheck to paycheck. And so after he grew up and he learned all this, and also he got himself into business, and then he realized that why people who have a lot of talent, but they're not necessary to be financially sound. And the reason it comes to this cash flow quadrant, and which this picture really reflects is that most people, or almost every one of us, generate our income from 4 different sources. If you are employee, what you do is that you work hard, and most of the time, your time is not determined by you. It's determined by your job, your boss, and you think that you go to job and perform your duty and you got the income and you wanted to get the sense of security, but having a job is no security at all, because when to go to lunch, when to get off, when do you get the day off, when do you get a vacation, when do you get raised, and even when being fired, it's all determined by your boss. So we think having a job for security, but it's the most insecurity what you can get from. So because of that, a lot of people wanted to take control of their own life. They go into self-employed, including doctors, lawyers, accountants, engineers, and a lot of small business owners. So they think that I am the boss, I make the call, so from then on, I get the security. But that would be a mistake, so to speak, because to start a business and even a self-employed, it takes a lot of cash flow or a lot of money to start. So a lot of people, when they start a business, they are already in debt. And not to mention, once you got into the business, before the business is up and running, you have to continue pumping cash into it to make it running. And if you don't have enough cash back up, well, you are out of luck. You can't even pay your rent, so you are forced to close. And not to mention the long hours, the stress that you have to maintain your employee, your cash flow, your sales, advertising, everything. And so most people think that they go to self-employed, they will solve the problem as an employee, but actually they own a job. And what they are saying is that when you own a business, you're almost like married to the business. And so for some people, they put a lot of hard work and they risk a lot, and then they have some kind of talent and they got hold of an opportunity or a trend. They make it into a big corporation, and which is the upper right-hand side. It's a business owner. It's truly a business owner. In the States, what they determine by if it's a small business or business, a corporation, is by 300 employees. So once you own a business that which employs about 300 people, that pretty much that you have a system in place. You might hire a president, a general manager, and a bunch of managers to run the place. And because there is a system in place that it runs by itself, so it doesn't take a whole lot of your effort and your time. So that's why by then, your income is not coming because of you perform your work, rather than it comes in a passive way. And so the differences between the S and the B is if there is a system, and does it require you to be present for the business to run, and which it's very hard to start a business that to grow to 300 employees. So finally, after they own a system and generate money in a passive way, so all the excessive money that they have, they can put it into investment. So they become a investor. So once they are an investor, they are leveraging the money to make money. For example, you buy real estate properties, rentals, you buy stock, mutual fund, annuities, and so on and so forth. And so on his book, the second book is called Cash Flow Quadrant. It's letting us know that why the E and S are actively trading your time, your talent, your work, your sweat equity into money, which is in an active way. If you work, you make money. If you don't work, you don't make money. And so he's kind of waking us up that if we are on the left-hand side, which is E and S, we better find a way to make the transition to the B and I. And what way? Let's take a look at the slide. Why 95% of the talented people aren't financially sound? Why? It's because most 95% of people on the left-hand side, we are counting on our labor, counting on our time, counting on our education level, counting on our work performance. But what if we're sick, we're tired, we're out of job? That means money stopped coming in. So the point that we're trying to learn and to kind of like find out from ourselves is that if we are in the left-hand side, the E and S, how can we make the transition to the B and I? What way to do that? Okay, well, because people are not financially sound because they don't have leverage. They only have leverage themselves, not be able to leverage other people. Okay, looks like is that him? Okay, yeah, okay, he's okay. Okay, so on the third book of Robert Kiyosaki, that the title is called Business School for People Like Helping People. So his very famous mantra is that the richest people in the world look for and build networks. You want to leverage other people's time and effort. Everybody else looking for a job. We don't say a job is not a good thing or is a bad thing. We all need a job one point or other. But we cannot rely on a job to provide our family a financial future. It just doesn't happen. Unless, I mean, you are some company CEO, which they are also facing a difficulty of you don't know if some board will fire you, okay? And so what we understand that the left-hand side of people, they don't have network, and the right-hand side of people, they have a network of people, money, and so they generate more money. Okay, so how do we transfer from the left-hand side, the E and S, to the B and I? How do we do that? Okay, so on his third book, he makes suggestion that there are 3 ways to leverage a network. First is to create one. He himself was created one, but before he was successfully create the first one, he has failed 3 of them, and he even went bankrupt twice. It is not easy to create one because it takes a lot of talent, a lot of guts, a lot of money, a lot of trial error to start one, which that's the difficulty. So, I mean, less than 1% of people will be able to create a network, create a big corporation. And so once you don't have those resources, what can you do? The second one is to buy one. For example, McDonald's. Well, even in Hong Kong now, if you want to buy a McDonald's, you're not going to be able to, because McDonald's, it's been monopolized by, I believe it's at which company? Well, it's one of those giant companies. They already signed a contract with McDonald's, and only them open McDonald's. And because McDonald's is making so much money, so they don't franchise out. Rather than they own it, they build them, they expand it, and so they make their own money. And in Hong Kong, one of the very famous network, which is the franchise, it's 7-Eleven. It takes about about a million, is that a million Hong Kong to start, and you work your butt off 24 hours, and you can hire people, but if they don't show up at work, you have to go there, okay? And it costs a lot of money, and it's very hard labor. And so it's not the average person can do. The third way is to participate what? There are some of the network out there or the system out there, and it's been proven, and they've been running for a long while. The people who participated, they made it, they leveraged it, and they are making passive income. And being Shop.com is a system, and we've been running for 25 years. So Shop.com is one of the ways that you can have very low capital to participate. And let's take a look at why do we choose Market Hong Kong Shop.com. Well, there are probably some similar companies out there. And why do we have to choose Shop.com? Hey, for the people who's already online, you're too late. You already chose. So let's take a look at what's the advantage, or why do we have to should we choose Shop.com. Number one is that it's been in business for 25 years, and it's financially very strong. Although it is a privately held company, but they would audit their book and release to us every single year to make sure that we know how healthy they're running the company. I believe that when you started the business and you got a box shipping to your house, and within the box there is a financial report. They don't have to, but they choose to release their privately held company and their financial report. At any given moment, they have 80 million US dollar in cash in the bank to secure our commission. Financially very strong. Of 25 years, they have never lose a buck. And 25 years, they grow consecutively every single quarter. They're very, very financially healthy. And number two, it's a proven system with worldwide training and support. Right now, it is a perfect example that you guys in Hong Kong and I am in LA, and I just woke up at 7 o'clock, start talking to you at 7:30 while you are 10:30 in Hong Kong. And so because of in business that the know-how, it makes all the difference. So by having people to support you, by having the training system to support you, it makes a lot of sense and makes a lot less mistake when you start a business. Okay, and we have this system provide us the ability to convert our spending into earning. I mean, how many times we are all consumers? How many times you have go out and buy something and you make some money of it? None. We spend money. We're always money from our pocket to other people's pocket, but never coming back into our pocket. But with Shop.com, you will be able to convert every single spending. I mean, in Hong Kong right now, you got the supermarket, you got a clothing store, you got appliance store. I mean, everywhere, a lot of restaurants that you can convert your spending into earning. It's just like the whole business model, it just makes sense. There are a few advantages with this particular system. We look at the highlight of the system. And again, we are able to participate into this shopping annuity to convert our spending into earning. So while you spend money, why not to get back something? Okay, earn immediate retail profit and cash back. So we have very good and a very effective product, exclusive product that you sell to your customers and make immediately 30% and up retail profit. I mean, 30%, that's a lot of money. I mean, if we save the money we put in the bank, and now at most you got maybe like 1%, and we can earn 2 to 25% cash back and retail profit, okay? And our volume accrue on this particular system for 365 days on BV side. On IBV side, it is 2 years, 730 days, okay? And so there's a lot of advantage with it, okay? 100% of the credit flow up from your organization. Imagine someday you have developed an organization with, let's say, 100 people on the left, 100 people on the right. No matter what they do, their volume flow up to your account. It's almost like you're owning a 300 people employee, and every day they go to work, they produce something for you. But in those scenarios, you still have to maintain the whole company. In our system, you don't have to maintain the whole system. All you do is you're helping other people to know how to use the system, how to participate, and how to make money in the system, so you would do the same, okay? And the volume of the people placement that you also enjoy, even though you can put your people underneath to help other people, and even your people on top of your organization can put people underneath your organization. I mean, how good is that, okay? Unlimited income potential through other BDC, what we call each one of them. You start with 3 BDC and you build it up, okay? And so if 187,000 US a month is a year is not enough for you, you can build the second one, the third one, the fourth one in the next years, and to increase your income. And so there's a lot of advantage in this particular business model, okay? And so now the question is that where do we start? How do we get started? Well, let's take a look at, for a newcomer, how do you, first thing is that how do you schedule your time? We understand that in this particular business, the money involved or the money you needed to invest in the business is very minimal. We do have to invest money. Any business, it takes money to make money. I would say probably on the second session, we would help you to kind of analyze what kind of investment we are looking for, or looking into that you have to put in this business, and we analyze it to the monthly dollar amount investment into this business, and you would be surprised how little it is. However, the time that you need to invest in the business, it is at least a minimum of 8 to 10 hours per week. What do you do with those time? So there is a priority that you kind of like schedule around, because what happened is for most people that they start shop.com while they have another job or another business. So it is a extra burden in the way, in time-wise, that you have to somehow fit in to your lifestyle, your work schedule, and now with shop.com. So what you do is that you have to manage your time and also priority your schedules. So the first thing you need to do is to attend a weekly calling. We throw at you a lot of new terms, and the Q&A session, I'm going to be explaining a little bit if you do have questions. So if you do have a pen and paper, you just write down all these special terms. A calling basically is a gathering. This particular gathering is from about 5 people to 10 people that we gather on a weekly basis to build knowledge, to build attitude, to build network, to build mutual understanding between partners, and also building, knowing how to run an organization, because someday we would have a huge organization, and most people involved with your job, your everyday life, we have never involved with an organization, and definitely we have never lead an organization. Very seldom. Some of you may be, okay? So what we need to do is to learn how to lead an organization. To some point, you will need an organization as big as like thousands of people. And because our commission is coming from our organization, everybody convert their spending into earning. They are also retailing, and those volume are gathering. So by putting effort into this particular group and associate and interact with people, that is the first priority in this business, because nobody can do it alone. I mean, in terms of this business, we all have to leverage other people's time, other people's experience, and other people's talent. So we have to do that, okay? And so if you haven't participated in one, especially, we are kind of weak in the English support, but we can always start from us. Maybe now, this time, it would be our weekly calling. Although we can't physically shake hands, but we are still talking freely, okay? And second is that attend the GMTSS, is called Global Meeting Training Seminar System. And which, because of this system, this particular business can expand internationally and still very successful, because it's a standardized training and it's putting up by volunteers with the company's supervision, and it provides us with a lot of knowledge in the business. And so what you do is that we'll find time to go into our back office and teach you how to go from your back office and find out where and when there is a training in terms of product, in terms of how to do business, and so on and so forth, okay? And so you have to somehow schedule about 2 hours a week to attend these events. And you can first attend, and later on you can bring your people, bring your organization, and bring your prospect to attend as well, okay? And number 3 is that you have to spend some hours to meet people, to chat. Or if people are already interested into shop.com, you bring your senior partner to talk to them. That's called 2-to-1. It's the same thing as ABC. What ABC refer to, you are the bridge. You find a client and find your senior partner as an advisor to talk to them. So pretty much it refers to the same thing as ABC as 2-on-1. And also, throughout the week, try to meet people and find out what they need and what they want. And because their needs and wants, that you have a chance to talk to them about what you used to be, and now you found shop.com, and hopefully that they are attracted by the opportunity. Okay, so that's what we needed to do. And also, there are 10 things we have to do over time. As a newcomer, I would say at least about 3 to 6 months. Within these 3 to 6 months, there are 10 things that you have to focus doing it. Okay, I just go down the list very quickly and let you know what 10 things, and maybe we can target it on 1 or 2 today. Okay, first thing is that once you got the first package, we have to perform a open box process or procedure. The thing is that because there's a lot of stuff within that box, it does take explanation for a newcomer to understand the products, the support materials, how to use the product, and how to use the product effectively. And if this particular process is skipped, even though a newcomer has a box full of product and material, they don't know what to do. So they might either use wrongly or they might just wait. And if they keep waiting and they don't have a chance to use the product, what good does it do? And so just make sure that when people come in and they already sign up, they wait for the package. Once the package comes in, you have to schedule either in their home and bring to a cafe nearby or a public place. You just, as a sponsor, you have to open the box and explain one by one and how to use them, or maybe even give them some support tools to use the product. Okay. Second is that to start getting writing down your 2-minute commercial. What 2-minute commercial it is? Why you choose shop.com. It is the reason that why you are doing it, and we can also give you a standardized format that all you have to do is that you fill in whatever it applies to you. So basically it's the reason why, because I'm working so hard. I tried it for 10, 20 years in life, having a job, having a business, but what I found is that I still haven't get to a point that I can achieve my financial goal or my goal for life. So after I was introduced to shop.com, I look at the platform, look at the opportunity, I find this might be the way, so on and so forth. So we're going to teach you how to write down, and then once you write down, you can forward it to me or to Nino, that we can modify a little bit. And so every time you go out to talk to people, this is your commercial. This is your commercial, your why. Number 3 is that you have to know the website, both the front, shop.com, hk.shop.com, and the back office, because those are your storefront. And so you have to know where to find things, how to register a customer, how to find out your cash back, where is how much cash back you have, because you have to explain this to your prospect to attract them that they want to do the same. We have to understand what shopping annuity is, and we're not going to spend time today, but there is something you have to fully understand. That's why you have to urgency. You have the power to do what you're supposed to. Okay. Number 5 is the NUOT, the new unfranchised owner training, which within 28 days, once you sign up, you have to attend. And if you can't get it in time, just do it ASAP. But keep it in mind, as long as you take NUOT, how do I put this? If you haven't taken NUOT, even though within or not in the 28 days or beyond 28 days, do not sign up people yet. If you sign up people, after 28 days, you haven't taken NUOT, once you sign up people, that person doesn't count as your sign up. So if within 28 days, you can sign up people, but make sure that you complete NUOT within 28 days. But if you haven't get a chance to complete NUOT in 28 days, just make sure you hold off signing people up until you take the course, then sign people up. Otherwise, it would be a big mistake. Okay. Number 6 is Basic 5. Basic 5 is almost like the software of doing this particular business. And so what you needed to do is that to schedule a course of Basic 5. It's in Hong Kong. It's almost weekly. that there are different trainers hosting Basic 5. So just find one of the Basic 5 and attend and learn from it. And number 7, and learn and share about our products, because product is our soul of the business. And so we have to know exactly what are they, what's the advantage of our product over other products on the market. And so we have to know that to talk to people, not just selling our product to people that you don't even know or you haven't even tried. And number 8 is to learn how to show our compensation plan. This MPCP means Management Performance Compensation Plan, which is where we generate our commission. And so we're going to be talk more later on, okay? And then number 9 is leverage the GMTSS. We talk about it, and you have to spend at least 1 session a week to the global meeting training seminar system. And number 10, to buy, sell tickets, because in this GMTSS is very unique, because all the courses you have to pay for it, although the fee is very reasonable and relatively very low, because the trainer has to put their time to train you. And so to compensate his time, there is a fee base to compensate his time and also the effort and also the venue, okay? And so in the way that when we attend these classes or these courses, we have to pay for a small fee, for example, what we call a UBP, which is a introduction to the business, that you pay 40 Hong Kong dollars and you got 1 ticket for yourself and 1 ticket for the prospect. So average is $20 for a head. It's very, very cheap. But the thing is that if you don't have this ticket, you can't go in, you can't bring in people in. That means it slows down your process of expanding this particular business. So it's always we buy this ticket ahead of time. And so make sure that we have the chance to go into it. Give me 1 second. Okay, so let's take a look at the topic of today, which is the open box process. I know that Jordan has already done that, and I don't help Jordan to open box, and I believe Peter is probably about time to do this. Well, the reason being that is to ensure the new UFO to use the product timely and correctly. You don't want them to use wrongly, that they don't get the effectiveness, okay? And second is to help the new UFO to build belief and confidence once he or she feel the result. Because most of people that makes money in the business, they like the product so much that it would be devastating that if they don't use the product on a daily basis. I mean, if you somehow build that kind of loyalty to your group, and you can imagine how easy to lead your group and how much volume it's generating. This particular PowerPoint, I'm going to be giving a link for you to download, and there are 2 links right here, and which one of our partner, Lillian, has recorded it, a open box procedure in a video format. Unfortunately, it's in Cantonese format, so if you can see it and you just click on the link and you will just look at these 2 video and to learn a little bit how to perform this open box procedure, okay? And so second, the 2-minute commercial is your story on why you're doing shop.com, and also when people hear your story and they want to get the same thing from you, or maybe get the same thing like yours, or probably from you too. So what we do is that we'll just make it to a point that we feel the same thing, that they feel some kind of harmony on what you think and what you do. And so they are attracted by you and by your story and by shop.com. And so I have a couple examples here because time is running out, and I'll just give you a couple of the samples. For example, this is one of my partners in Seattle. They are restaurant owners. My name is Sam and my wife is Jay. And we own a Chinese restaurant for about 20 years. As you may know, being a restaurant owner is just married to the business. We feel guilty for our kids because we have never spent enough time with them as they grew up. In addition, working in long hours for so long makes our health going downhill even in our young age. That's why we have been taking supplements from Costco and hope to prevent getting sick. One day, our good friend Irene mentioned it, that she has been taking a special blend of drinkable health supplement called isotonics. It interests me immediately because I hate to take pills. Then we came to find out that there was a business opportunity behind the products through shop.com. I jumped into it right away thinking that this could be a backup plan for us. Sam even went to Miami to check it out, which is our convention. The vision and the mission of this company is amazing. Now we enjoy shopping online through our own website, which is their website, for all our daily purchases and get cash back from it. But the most of all, I started getting checks as shopping annuity by converting our own shopping as well as other people's spending into our earning. So that is a very good story. You first talk about some pain that you anticipated. I mean, everybody got some pain spots. I mean, either long hours, low wages, the boss demand too much, I don't see the future, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's always room to improve. And then you introduce to shop.com how you can find this might be a way to improve your current situation or even make it a brighter future. And so I would suggest Nino to start a separate group with our people on WhatsApp. And so I would release all these links and information, even the format of the sample format of a 2-minute commercial. So you start to fill in the blanks. And then once you finish and you send it to me, I'll look at it, maybe make some changes, and try to keep this particular 2-minute commercial short. When you read it, it's under 2 minutes. The best is that in between 1.5 minutes to 2. And so that's your homework assignment, and that's pretty much done with my session. And I'm going to open the floor for about 5 minutes since I have another meeting coming up for 5 minutes. And if you have any question, please open your mic to ask the question.